Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where we are currently working our way through the career mode here, and we're going to hop into the tech tree. Do we have anything that we can grab for 10 tech points? Let's see, this is all 30. We could grab RC Enthusiast if we really wanted to, which I guess we could do. Might as well. We're going to want to get this entire tech tree, I'm sure, eventually anyway. And let's see what we've got here. So we've got Fireworks. I believe we already did this. Okay, did I not save? Right, that's right. There's no actual save option here, so I just assumed that it auto-saved after the flight, and apparently that's not the case. Interesting, but it did just auto-save. Okay, well, I guess we gotta do this one again. That's not that bad. We've already got this ready to go. So we'll accept this guy, and no, I don't want to cancel the contract. I want to close this. And let's launch this craft. And this will be $622 for the Juno Launchpad, I guess? Sure. I think that was lower before, but it's probably based on the mass, if I had to guess. And we just want to lift this guy right on off, and we want to explode it as soon as we are 11 kilometers here. Okay. And hopefully we have enough. Or maybe this is a very similar contract, actually. This is very loud. That's end flight. Where's the actual options here? Ah, it would be in here. Okay, so the space vehicle is quite loud. I'm going to turn everything down to, like, 50%. Yeah, like 50%. But I'm going to turn the music up slightly. Okay. It's still a little on the loud side, but I guess it's okay. So we need to get high enough here and make this go boom. So we're currently at 2 kilometers. 3 kilometers. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Boom. Okay, so there we go. I assumed it would have auto-saved when I clicked this Save Flight button, but apparently it didn't. So that's good to know. We'll hop into the career here, and we can see that there's now all of this. So this one is so much cheaper. What is this? Launch a new craft from the village runway, roll down to the end of the runway, get at least 150 meters away before you touch the ground. Okay, so this is a plane, actually. It has a tutorial, so maybe we should learn how to make a plane. Sure. Let's do it. Would you like to back up our current craft? Honestly, no. Okay, so let's start building a car. The first step is to add an empty fuel tank behind the command disk. This will serve as the body of the car. Yeah, so we put in a fuel tank right out over here, and then we'd put in a nose cone. Okay, that sounds good. Now we're going to put in a wheel right there, and we would add a rear wheel, right-click it, and drag. Okay, so that's how you duplicate instead of the alt-click in KSP. And then we'd use the symmetry tool. Yep, that makes sense. So mirror symmetry and mirror symmetry. Yep. Make the front wheels turnable and reduce the engine torque to save money. Okay, so we can definitely do that. So these are going to be turning angle. We would want this to be probably up to 30. And reduce the torque down to all the way to 0? Oh, they want the turning angle to be 20 degrees. Okay, there we go. And then crank up the torque on the rear wheels and adjust their gear ratio and set the turning angle to 0. So we only want to turn the front wheels. Gotcha. Torque should go to 12.5, so maxing that. And then the gear ratio should be 1. Okay. You change the motor input to use pitch instead of throttle. Okay. That'll allow us to go in reverse. And then close the panel. Sure. So this is a car. And we're actually not making a plane. We're just going to jump this. Okay. So we want to launch this then, and we want to do this from the runway. Okay. So we need to get at least 150 meters of distance here. Okay. I always try to do that. Cool. So now we need to get 150 meters. Controlling the heading of a vehicle is very important. For cars, it's typical to use either yaw or roll. This one uses roll, but let's try both. Press and hold Q to decrease the roll to minus 100%. We're rolling backwards, by the way. Okay. And we increase it like that. Sure. A and D for the yaw. Yep, that makes sense. And then left shift to throttle up, but that shouldn't do anything. Yeah. We use pitch instead. So we're going to hold S to go backwards. Yep, that's expected. B to engage the brakes. Okay. And add a slider panel from the bottom left. Okay, so that's out over here. Pitch button. Press and hold W to increase pitch to 100. Okay. So I assume, yeah, we're just going to roll down to the end of the runway. We want to get as much speed as we can. And that's going to be a lot of speed. We're definitely going to get 150 meters out of this. I think that's very, very clear. Assuming I don't steer us too much. Okay, there we go. Let's get this jump. Excellent. So that'll do it. And of course, this is going to impact the ground and go splat, but that's pretty expected. We'll end that flight and we will save it, I guess. Sure. I don't know if that actually saved it or not, but cool. So that is building cars, huh? So we've got fast roller here. Grounded for more than 10 seconds. Go faster than 13.9 meters per second. I mean, this seems like something we can do literally right now. Let's accept this. And let's launch this current vehicle again. I want this to go to the runway again. And all we should need to do here is simply accelerate it forward. We will be grounded for plenty of time here. And now we just need to go faster than 13.9 meters per second. This seems incredibly easy to do. We need to be grounded again here. 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going fast enough. We need to hold the speed for 5 seconds. And done. Cool. Let's brake and end flight. It's not exactly a flight, but there we go. So we're going to get a recovery bonus there. We'll recover the craft. Excellent. What else is in here? Well, we've got going high. Reach 80 kilometers sea level altitude. We've got taxi driver here. So we need to go through all of the checkpoints here. Okay. I mean, this would be very easy to do in theory as well. And then this is crash at least 30 kilometers away from the village. Yeah, that would be pretty easy to do as well. Okay, cool. Let's do taxi driver since we've got the craft for it right now. And let's just launch this onto the village runway, I guess. I'm not sure where exactly we need to go for this. We need to go to the start checkpoint. Is the maintenance hangar the start checkpoint? I'm guessing it is. So let's just head right on over this way. I don't want to change our heading necessarily. Let's just head over this direction for now. And yeah, that must be the start checkpoint. We don't seem to have electric charge, do we? Or any sort of like fuel for this. Do the wheels just go infinitely? Okay. So that is checkpoint 1. Now the question is, I keep trying to do this wrong. But now the question is, where's checkpoint 2? The upper patio over there. Okay. How are we going to get down there is the next question. If we go down the runway, I don't think that's the best of ideas. Reason being, there's not really a good way to get back up over here. I wonder if we would survive if we dropped down this. We may or we may not. I'm unclear. We might actually be better off trying to get down off of the concrete and going down over here, actually. Now that I look at this, I think that's probably the way we want to go. So let's do that for now. I want to be going forward. Thank you. Okay. Wait, this is a ramp right here. Okay. I guess I'm just dumb. I didn't see it behind this, I think. Cool. So down this ramp we go. I want to have a little bit of brakes going on here because I felt like we were going a little too fast. And then back around over here we go. We'll go through this checkpoint. Cool. Where's that next checkpoint at? Off over there? Okay. Boy, that's a tight turn. Gotcha. So let's just bring this guy on around over here. The question is, how do we end up getting there? Oh, that looks simple enough. Looks like we make our way around here. There we go. I'm decelerating us a little bit as we go around this corner. Now I'm going to decelerate us quite a lot. Okay. I used the brakes to bring us to a halt because I did not want to overshoot this. That would be bad. And we're going to head on down over here. Cool. Once again, getting rid of that momentum that we picked up from the hill with the brakes. No, I don't care about our pitch. Okay. Is there a way to hide this, I wonder? Probably this. Yes. Okay. That's more like what I want. Cool. So we're working on decelerating right now. I'm wondering how exactly we end up getting here. Apparently we just have to go around this way. Sure. Seems easy enough. Okay. Ooh, hit a little bit of gimbal lock with the camera there. Exciting. Let's just ease our way on into here. And now we have to go to the statue, which is up there, but it looks like we can't go through here. That is likely to be in some way removed. Are we burning fuel? We're at 0%, apparently. Interesting. Wait, can we fit through that? That's interesting. So that's how you change your camera view. Gotcha. I think we might be able to fit through that. Yeah, fantastic. So let's go grab this Juno statue. Okay. There we go. And that's apparently all we needed. Perfect. So we'll recover that. That gives us some exploration of our starter town, I guess. So now we've got 60 tech points. And what do we want to grab? Well, we could grab catch them all. So this would give us parachutes. That's probably a good thing. Indeed. Let's grab some parachutes. That is a useful thing to have. These are all 50 up over here. So this is going to be our, I believe they're called Druids. That's fine for now. I'm just going to save our remaining tech points for the time being. Now, let's check in on what we have here. So we've got going high. We've got Juno Peak. This is get to the top of the peak. Okay, we're probably going to come back to that one. And then we've got going sideways. Both going high and going sideways should be pretty easy, to be honest. So let's accept going high for now. And then let's go into our build mode. Excellent. And, okay, this is the same rocket we built. This is giving us a tutorial for this. It didn't say it had a tutorial. Sure. We're going to attack a payload. This is what the customer wants us to bring to space. Okay. So we're going to need to do a sounding rocket payload. There we go. And we would need to add an interstage. Okay. Another fuel tank below. And we're going to enlarge it, I guess. Okay. So something like this. And we'll connect an engine to it. This, oh, it's wanting to teach us about the symmetry. We already discovered this, but okay. We're going to duplicate the engine because we need more thrust. Yes, and we want it to be radial 3. Okay. Sure. Add some fins to the bottom stage for the stabilization. So we're going to right-click and drag these down to the bottom. Gotcha. And do the symmetry. Radial 3 here as well. Okay. Sure. Yeah, we need to look at the staging. That makes sense. So the pre-flight configuration is out over here. Normally, staging is calculated automatically, but it's a good idea to check it. You don't say. Yeah, the second stage engine should be in stage 2, for sure. So we do something like that. Okay, cool. So we have a multi-stage rocket. It's a bit of an eyesore, but it definitely is a rocket that exists. Cool. So we need to click the launch button, and this is going to be the village pad. Perfect. And this one is just going high. So we just need to go straight on up here. Let's have the sphere set up here. And click the lock button to enable heading lock. And then press space. Yeah. So this is just going to lock us to a vertical heading. And we just are going up. That's absolutely fine. Does it auto stage? I don't know. We'll find out. There's a lot of, like, automation things in this game where you can, like, program how you want the flight to go out, which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to getting into that, for sure. So our first stage will eventually run out of fuel. No doubt about it. I'm noting that our pitch slider has actually remained. I'm going to get rid of that for now. Okay. So we're going to run out of fuel shortly here. 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. Okay, so we do have to manually stage it. That's fine. Now it's on you. Wait until the rocket goes higher than 80 kilometers, then stage again to expose the probe. Easy enough. So this is just a sounding rocket going up. We're not going to be going into orbit here. This is just going up. Easy enough. The next contract is going to be getting a little bit closer to being a little bit closer to being an orbital rocket, but definitely not going to be that just yet. So we're about to run out of fuel. This is going to continue to coast up for quite a long time. We've got a decent amount of speed here. Right, we haven't gotten the map view yet. I'm not sure exactly what our orbital velocities in this game are going to be looking like, but it's probably going to be kind of similar to KSP, it looks like. If we're moving at 1,800 meters per second and this is pushing us up this high. So we, of course, need to expose the probe. Did that actually expose the probe? I'm not convinced it did. Oh, okay. Yeah, the fairing is just a little awkward. Okay. Get out of here, fairing. Nobody likes you. Cool. So that is exposed. Oh, hello. That looks like a gas giant. But I think that's one of the moons, actually. Okay, well, let's end this flight, and we will recover this craft. I mean, we're not actually going to recover it. Yeah, we'll destroy the craft. It has successfully accomplished what we wanted. So that looks good. We're up to 89K, and what is our next target? Well, we've got fast roller here. Okay. We can accept this, but I don't want to yet. We're going to take going sideways, and go at least 30 kilometers away from the village? Sure. So that seems fine. 10K and 40K. So a total of 50K here. We'll accept this. How much is this craft? Well, that's 18K. Sure. That seems pretty profitable. So we're going to launch this craft, and we're going to put this on the Juno village pad. This craft has one or more issues. One payload, but 0 payloads are available. Okay, so we can't actually launch with that payload unless we have a payload. I guess that makes sense. So let's get rid of this, and we are then just going to put in our nose cone. Yeah, that's the correct size, I guess. I don't think it needs to be quite that tall. Maybe more like that or so. Okay, so let's launch this guy from the village pad. Looks excellent. And at this point, all we need to do is get 30 kilometers away from the village. So I want to launch this thing. There we go. I'm not sure what heading we're in by default, but whatever. So I want to get some amount of altitude here, but I want to... Okay, that's east, that's west. Sure, seems okay. I want to get us over to about 75 degrees. There we go. Actually, I want to move us to like 45 degrees for right now. We don't appear to have too much capacity for that. Okay. Well, let's get rid of that and continue on. We are getting some amount of horizontal turning here, so that is good. But I want a fair amount more horizontal speed than this. We're turning pretty slowly. We might need to turn up our reaction wheel. That might be a thing that we need. We'll see. But we're going to be going sideways for a while here. We're currently about 10% of the distance that we need, and we are getting more and more put into our horizontal speed, so that looks reasonable for right now. But that's definitely a pretty slow turn rate. It took us a while to get here. We're out of fuel as of now. But we are about 11 kilometers away. Now 12. I think we're going to make it. I think that's very clear. I'm wondering what our apoapsis is right now. And we can also see our prograde markers out over here for the moment. Okay, definitely good to know. So we're now about 20 kilometers from the village. And now we just need to crash, right? So let's cruise on forward here. There's 30 kilometers. Time to touch down. No need to survive. Our altitude is definitely getting up there. This is about 300 kilometers. That's actually our best altitude. I guess we didn't keep coasting when we lifted the payload. That would have gotten higher than this because we put a fair amount into horizontal velocity. Okay, so down we come. Fantastic. We're going to be entering the atmosphere shortly, at which point it will, of course, drop our time warp down. We're still pretty high up for now. Ah, it did drop our velocity down. Interesting. I'm not sure why it did. We did not enter the atmosphere, but I guess because we reached, I wonder if it's like Apodrew in this game or something. Okay, so downward we go. We are in the atmosphere as of now. It does seem to be around on course to enter atmosphere. It seems to be like 80 kilometers. Okay, cool. I want to angle us to be like here, where our velocity is. Or thereabouts. Let's see here. That's our pitch. I'm wanting to change our heading just a wee bit to be about there. And then our pitch. Locked velocity retrograde? No, don't do that. Okay, so we actually didn't crash. Interesting. We burned up in the atmosphere. Interesting. So the touchdown didn't actually happen. Huh. Launch cost was 18K. I did not expect to burn up in the atmosphere there. So that is noted. We clearly need more horizontal velocity then. So the craft cannot be recovered because it's destroyed. If you're not happy with what you accomplished, then it might be best to retry undo. There's no penalty for trying again. If you didn't complete any contracts or milestones, this is the recommended option. Okay, so I guess we can try that one again? Sure, the game appears to want us to revert. Interesting. That is not what I would have expected, and that might not be what we end up doing in the future, but now that we know that, that's certainly interesting. So I want to take our pitch, and I want to bring us all the way over immediately to 45 degrees. We don't need any particular altitude, remember. So if we can keep our speed relatively low, should be fine. This thing might be too powerful for this particular mission, to be honest. But yeah, burning up due to re-entry there is not ideal. But now we know that that's a thing. So that is a lesson learned. For sure. Okay, so we're going to continue to bring this guy on over. And to be honest, I want to be right at 0 degrees. I want to be lowering this as much as we can. I want to be keeping as much drag on us as possible here. Because we're going to have a lot of speed, and that's understood. Are we going to manage to achieve orbit here? That would be hilarious. Okay, so there's distance flying. Cool. We're having a bit of a hard time getting our pitch correct, but that's okay. We're holding fairly close to the velocity because of the aerodynamic force, and I like it. So we're moving pretty quickly, no doubt about it, but we're having a lot more horizontal speed. So that's the idea. At this point, there's no other staging that needs to happen. And the real question is, what's our velocity like? Well, I believe we just exited the atmosphere. So let's head on over and let's see if we can survive the touchdown this time. This is going to be a whole lot of horizontal speed. If we had another stage on this, I bet we could get this into orbit. Indeed. Our velocity is starting to go down now, it looks like. That's absolutely fine. I'm not too concerned about that. We're going to lock velocity to prograde. And we are entering the atmosphere now. But we need to crash. We can't burn up in the atmosphere, so that is noted. I want to be locked to prograde here so that we have as little risk of that as possible. But I think we might be a little too powerful with this rocket, to be honest, for this particular mission. Like, this rocket is incredibly close to making it into orbit, I think. Although it's hard to tell without a map view, which we will unlock eventually. So we can see that there's definitely some plasma buildup here. It's taking heat damage, but we're slowing down due to drag. We're slowing down a lot now. And it exploded from excessive heat damage. Okay, so in that case, this rocket is definitely too powerful. Okay. Well, I guess we will retry, but instead of having this on the pad... Well, really, we don't even need to fire the second stage, do we? I bet we don't. I bet if we just did this, that we could do it. We don't fire the second stage, and we just carry ourselves 30 kilometers. All we gotta do is crash, right? It's definitely a little weird that this thing is way, way too powerful for this particular mission, but it certainly is. And we're lacking some things like heat shields and such. So, yeah. Let's just carry ourselves over, and I think that this will probably get us there. Excellent. We don't need to be angling for orbit at this point. We just need to get enough distance. So 14 kilometers, 15 kilometers. I'm pretty sure this is going to do it. We are currently still going up. I want to be at sea level. Yeah, we're still going up. We're at 20 kilometers at this point. This is definitely done. Let's lock velocity prograde. And with any luck, this will be okay. We have a whole lot less speed. So it shouldn't burn up, right? In theory. Hopefully it doesn't burn up. Excellent. Now, how can we see the heat damage that the nose cone was taking? We see its temperature building up. That's fuel transfer. Okay, noted. So its temperature is definitely building up as we drop down here. I don't expect it to actually overheat this time. We're moving way, way, way slower. And we just want this to crash. So we're not staging this. We could have done this cheaper, to be honest, but this is a little quicker. We wouldn't have to redesign the rocket, so it looks good. Kaboom. Wait a second. How did that survive? Questionable. We'll recover the craft, and we actually recover $505 worth. Okay. I mean, that's not as efficient as it would have been if we had just omitted all of this. But, you know, whatever. I guess it's fine. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue to work through some of these career contracts. Fast Roller might be what we go for next. This has to be completed within 60 days. Interesting. Definitely interesting. We'll probably do Fast Roller because that can no longer be accepted after 30 days. And then Lightspeed also has a time limit on it, so we'll probably get to both of those. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. Now, hopefully I can figure out how to save this.